how did you get into cybersecurity, and what was your experience coming to cybersecurity in, frankly, quite a male-dominated industry?
I literally fell into cybersecurity, which I know is quite a cliche, but I was looking for a new role, and then a recruiter saw my CV and was like, "Oh, I've got a job for you in identity management," and I was like, "What the hell is that?" Yeah, sure, just put me forward for it, because I'm quite ballsy and will just blog my way into most situations. So I quickly Googled some acronyms before the interview and managed to get through the interview. But yeah, I've kind of fell in love with it since that point. So yeah, on my first day in the job, I was like, AAD, what the hell is Azure AD? I'm going to have to find out what this is. But yeah, so I picked it up really quickly, and and I think because the community is so inclusive, like I know we moan about stuff like there's not much diversity, and we could be a bit more inclusive to women or trans people or the BAME community, but I do think that there is a massive inclusive current of people in cybersecurity, and they're all really willing to help you as well. Like I've learned so many things just from chatting to people on Twitter or LinkedIn, like not necessarily going on training. Well, I've never been on a training course. So the only way that I've ever learned is by talking to other people in the community.
I agree. I think that this is an incredibly tight-knit and actually generally quite a supportive community. I definitely feel that. I mean, I think that generally are quite positive, and they are quite inclusive, and they are quite. I mean, the perfect example. There's if anyone goes on LinkedIn and posts that they're interested in getting into cybersecurity, I mean, that gets picked up. I mean, we've had an intern working with us, a chap called Matt Smith, and
I love Matt.
Yeah, and this is it. And it's just, he's really sort of managed to sort of like create a movement behind him. And there's so many people that are championing him and really trying to help him get this apprenticeship. Yeah. And I think that's exciting.
He was speaking to me, and I did him a virtual cybersecurity careers fair. So I got loads of people to come and chat to him.
But it's brilliant. This is exactly what I mean. And the amount of people that now sort of get behind him, and it's just that's what I think is really positive about our community. So I actually think that it is quite an inclusive place to be. I mean, I've always felt this a little bit anyway. I mean, I've been in cybersecurity for like, I don't know, 15, 20 years now. And every single time, you kind of go to InfoSec or whatever, it's just, everyone sort of knows everybody in a good way. It is quite a positive thing, I think,
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. And do you think that there is more women in cybersecurity roles? Is it changing? Are you finding that it's become sort of easier?
I think we probably need to, I think when we see the statistics around women in cybersecurity, I honestly think that we are excluding a lot of the roles that are in cyber when we're pulling those statistics out. So in technical roles, I think there are less women. Like I just think there naturally will be less women, because women like talking and stuff like that rather than sitting in front of a computer all day. But in terms of, like, if you look at like the peripheral roles that are supporting cyber, so marketing, sales, project management, if you look at those roles, I think there's actually quite a lot of women that are getting involved with that. I don't think they're all necessarily technical, like I said, but there are a lot of women doing those, peripheral roles, I guess they are. That's still equally valid inside. I still say that I'm a woman in cybersecurity, even though I work in sales. Like I don't discount myself from the industry.
No.
Role, you know what I mean?
You're still in the absolutely. You're still in the industry. Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense.